You may have seen our videos reviewing the Yubii, and in that we've made reference to our amazing meeting room. So, I present to you the ultimate smart meeting room powered by Yubii. We recently refurbished our meeting room, and we thought we'd put some smart tech in there to demonstrate the power of Yubii. So come with me, let's have a look. Starting here, we have the rhythm touch switch. Now, this is one of the fantastic things about Yubii. This actually isn't even a Yubii or Nice product, but this is a third-party product that integrates beautifully with the Yubii. So let's go ahead and put it into meeting mode. So come on in. Now you can see the blinds opening, the lights have come on, the room is prepared for a meeting. We have a tablet. From this tablet you can control all of the elements of the room. But for a lot of people, there is a problem in that there is a perception about many smart homes that they become harder to interact with once they become smart. Unless, of course, you like doing everything off your phone or your tablet. Now that's where Yubii have it nailed. Here we've got what looks like a traditional toggle switch. And from this, you can go ahead and activate scenes. You can turn lights on and off. We can put it into we can trigger like a moody party scene with the blinds coming down and the lights coming on, changing color. And then at the flick of a switch, we can just go back into meeting mode again. So I think it's really important for smart homes that they can be interacted with in the traditional way, because at the end of the day, that's how people are used to interacting with their home. And it's important not to lose that side of it when you also gain a lot of extra technology and features. Now, of course, at Umbra, we are shading experts. So let's have a look at the shading that we have in this room. First off, we have the curtain track. So this curtain track is seamlessly integrated into the ceiling using the blind space recess profile. Makes it a very, very smooth transition from curtain to ceiling. There's no bulky track visible at all, and it is of course motorized and integrated into our smart system. Now with the curtain track, like everything else, you can control it from the tablet, or you can interact with it in the organic way, which is just give it a tug and off it goes. Now we also have two blinds in here. These are also hidden away within blind space. And first of all, we have the Evolve roller blind dropping out of the ceiling there. And behind it, we have the Cura Lock blind that will give us the complete blackout. The Cura Lock full blackout blind is fantastic for meetings. It lets you have that complete room darkening whilst you're doing a presentation, for example, but it's also great for privacy. Then in front of it, the Evolve screen blind gives us the solar protection that we need within this room when it's sunny outside. As you can see, they both disappear neatly into blind space. Even the Cura Lock has its side channels completely recessed and hidden away for the ultimate discreet look. We have three lighting scenes set up in this room. We have the LED lights around the perimeter, we have the spotlights, and we have the table light over the conference room table. All three can be controlled individually. The LED strips are particularly fun. These are RGB strips that can be controlled again from the Yubii controller. Here you have a number of presets. You can also select any color that you want, and they will change as you select them. And if you don't want a color, you can actually choose to just simply have plain white instead. So this is the Yubii Web GUI. Now this, in my opinion, is what takes Yubii from being an entry-level DIY smart home system to being that semi-pro system that we've been talking about. This web config tool lets you get really stuck into the actual setup of all your devices. As you can see, we've got two rooms set up in here. The room we're in at the moment is these are the devices in this room currently. As you can see, it's already quite a few. Imagine that across a whole building. Being able to just do that setup from the app is fine, but there is a limit to how much you can physically do from a mobile app. And that's why this web GUI is fantastic. So let me show you a couple of things. If we jump into the settings, we've got all of our devices listed out here. Now we can jump into any of these and make changes to them. We can see the parameters, we can see the energy consumption. We can also edit and configure rooms within here, including all the icons. And scenes, and now this is one of the ones where you really do appreciate having the ability to do this on your laptop. You can create scenes from the mobile app, and it's perfectly doable. But being able to create block scenes from here is probably one of the most powerful things. So you've got a couple of different ways you can create these. I'm just going to jump into one that we already have here. So let's look at the meeting room scene. So in here, we've got these blocks that simply says, if this condition is true, then all of these conditions happen. And from here, it's super easy to add in your weather parameters, time delays, devices, which are obviously the actual physical things in the room. You can add GPS or location-based scenes. You can add scenes into the scene, so you can trigger things that trigger other scenes. You can obviously get notifications like low battery notifications. You can trigger events and panel scenarios, and you can of course trigger energy related things. Now for me, being able to do all of this from a format like this on my laptop is so much easier and so much clearer than trying to work it all out on your phone. The other great thing about this is that I could of course navigate directly to the IP address of the Yubii that I want to edit. However, I can also gain access to that Yubii through my account from anywhere in the world. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm signed into my remote access account, and here you can see I've got two Yubii set up, and I can open either of those straight away. And that opens up this dashboard here that lets you edit any of those scenarios or scenes from literally anywhere. Now let's talk about energy. Back when we shot the original video, we didn't have any data in this dashboard, but we do now have some. So here you can see the energy consumption, and you can view that either by kilowatt hours or by actual pounds and pence, which is pretty cool because that really makes it real, doesn't it? The other thing is, of course, you can set up what it's actually costing you so that this data in here is specifically accurate to your building. You'll also see in here the savings tab. So in here, this lets you kind of see which device is actually the most power hungry and maybe costing you the most, and therefore where there might be some opportunities for some savings. You also have the opportunity, if you have any form of sustainable energy sources, like if you had solar panels on the roof or if you had your own wind farm, you could actually pull that data through into here, and back on the overview tab, you see we have a production field as well as a consumption field. So you could actually monitor what you're producing versus what you're consuming, and you can see what that balance is. Okay, so let's talk about adding in new devices. So if you want to go ahead and add a device, you have, by default, you have these options. So you have your Z-Wave option, your NICE option, your Alero option, and you also have Zigbee in beta. Now you can go ahead and go other device, and here you can see straight away you have a ton of other things, kind of third-party devices that you can add in these apps. So in here, this is how we added in our Sonos device, which you can see here, the Sonos player, which you can obviously configure from these tabs here. Now, the other very cool thing is from here you can go visit Marketplace. Now this opens up the Fibaro Marketplace where you have literally a ton of other apps that allow for integration of other devices. And as I scroll through these, you'll recognize big brand names, little brand names, all manner of people and devices in here that you can actually control from your Yubii. Adding in any of these apps is really simple. You just simply pick the app that you want to add. So let's look at this Yale one for the Yale locks. And if you were signed in, from here you would just scroll down and you'd be able to download it and add it straight into your Yubii and get control of your Yale lock. Now to me, that's pretty cool because this again is another section and another reason that the Yubii product is into that semi-pro category of smart home devices. It's not just a DIY entry-level product. NICE have 3 decades of experience with security, both physical and digital. And I think that's pretty obvious when you get into here and you start seeing some of the devices that you can add in, from alarm systems to door locks to their own IP cameras. And of course, blinds are a really key part of that whole security ecosystem. Being able to simulate presence in a building whilst it's empty through the use of the blinds that are at your windows, and of course the lights, and of course having that alarm and motion sensors that can be triggered, they all contribute to that overall secure platform that NICE have built up here. Overall, the Yubii is a really powerful platform, and I'm not being paid by anyone to say that. I genuinely just think it's so impressive, and I also feel that not enough people know about it, and I really want more people to see the power of Yubii. You can of course buy it from Umbra, and you can of course integrate Umbra's blinds with Yubii, but there's so much more you can do with it as well. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.